Hello and welcome to the Watchman Reports, where we provide perspective to world news from a biblical standpoint, offering the biblical standard on current events, focusing on prophecy, moral and social issues. And in this episode, we explore the Middle East in Bible prophecy.
Many things have been happening in the Middle East this year. What about Trump in the Middle East? Well, one of the boasts of Trump during the election campaign last year was that he would bring peace to both the Middle East and to Ukraine in a very short space of time. He's been trying very hard with Ukraine. So he boasted about both the Middle East and Ukraine. He also said that he would bring Saudi Arabia into the Abraham Accord. Now, that's not possible without a Palestinian state. And I want to show you that. Israel and the US decimated, of course, Iran's nuclear program in joint bombing raids. You'll remember that. That was one of the big events of the year. And they wiped out the underground nuclear facilities in Iran. And, of course, Israel has knocked over Iran's proxies like Hezbollah. They've quietened down the Houthis in Yemen. They've almost destroyed Hamas in Gaza. So Iran's not doing very well. They've lost all of it, most of their proxies. And regime fall is anticipated in Iran. And the latest crisis is not going to help the mullahs who are in control of that country. You know why? There's no water. Seen this report? See the date on that report? 5th of December. What's today? 10th. It's 5 days ago. Tehran may be evacuated as taps run dry due to water crisis. Senator John Fetterman in the US Congress said, Iran spent billions to destroy Israel instead of spending it on water. This Pennsylvania senator noted that the money Iran put into its nuclear weapons program could have gone towards solving the country's water crisis, as water is on the verge of running out in Tehran. Tehran has a population of 9 million people, 4 times the population of Brisbane. No water. Turn your tap on. Nothing comes out. Do you like being in that situation? You reckon that the regime's going to succeed? You reckon that they're going to be popular in the next election? So here we've got a country that is in deep trouble. And what we've got, brothers and sisters, is another projected fulfilment of Bible prophecy. Because you know what it says? That Gog has in its confederacy a power called Persia. Now, that doesn't mean just Iran. When it says Persia in Ezekiel 38 verse 6, it's actually from Syria right across to Pakistan. It's the old Seleucid kingdom, all right? And we'll have a little bit more to say about that in a moment. So here we've got things happening that are forcing change on Iran. But there's also, of course, big changes that have occurred in Syria. Now, Syria was ruled for decades by the Assads, the latest Bashir, who's now a refugee in Moscow. And, of course, big changes have come to that country. On the 27th of November 2024, a coalition of opposition groups called the Military Operations Command launched a major offensive against the Syrian army and other pro-government forces in Aleppo, Idlib, Hama and Homs governance. The Assad regime was overthrown in just 11 days. They were swept aside. They'd done pretty well against ISIS, but they were swept away in 11 days. On the 29th of January 2025, Syrian de facto leader Ahmed al-Sharaa was appointed president of Syria by the Syrian General Command. And on the 29th of March this year, he formed a transitional government. Now, I asked the question here. See those 2 little pictures there? That's the same man. All right. The top one is when he was the leader of a terrorist group. He was declared to be an international terrorist. There was a bounty on his head. Now he's cuddling up to Donald Trump. See, he's got a suit on. Look at him. He's got a suit and tie on. He's operating like a Western politician. Would you trust that man? Trump does. Trump trusts him to the point that he's prepared to bully Israel over Syria. This tells you something about Donald Trump. Here's an article December the 2nd. That's not very long ago, is it? A week ago. Trump pushes Israel to embrace Sharia, forcing Israel to reassess their Syria doctrine. His shift forces Israel to confront a core dilemma. Are its raids upon Syria neutralising threats in Syria or nurturing new ones? He's bullying Israel. He's saying, well, I want to make a deal with this man. I'm a deal maker. I want to have peace. I want to get a Nobel Peace Prize. Don't stand in my way, Israel. That's telling you something about this man. He, brothers and sisters, is one of those who you could call the basest of men. Daniel 4:17. 3rd December this year, the United Nations General Assembly approved a resolution calling on Israel to withdraw from the Golan Heights, which they're likely to do never. And Tuesday vote. Some 123 countries voted in favour of the resolution. 7 voted against it. That would include the United States, by the way, because Donald Trump said that the Golan Heights belongs to Israel. So he's in a bit of a cleft stick, isn't he? How's he going to make friends with that guy when he says, no, the Golan Heights belongs to Israel? So here you've got the nations trying to put pressure on Israel, as indeed Trump is himself. So what next for Syria? Well, there are 3 prophecies that determine Syria's future. They are Daniel 7 verse 7, and I just made mention of that and we'll come back to that in a second. Daniel 11 verse 40, which we'll briefly mention, and Isaiah 17. Now, Daniel 7 verse 7 requires that the revived 4th beast will conquer the residue, what's called the residue of the Medo-Persian and Greek empires in the east. And I'll show you a map of that in a minute. Daniel 11 verse 40 calls the Gogian invader the king of the north. Now that, of course, was the title of the Seleucid kings. Seleucus was one of the generals of Alexander. He created a kingdom from Syria across to the Indus River in Pakistan. It was called in the Bible the king of the north. Now Russia has to be the king of the north, according to Daniel 11 verse 40. Isaiah 17 prophesies a repeat of history. The latter-day Assyrian, or Gog, will remove the Syrian ruler and destroy Damascus. It's already half destroyed, by the way. That history of the past presaged what will happen in the future. And it's going to happen. Now, I don't have time to go through those 3 references in any detail, of course, but have a look at some maps. What you see there is, of course, the empire of Alexander the Great, right across to the Indus River, which is now in Pakistan. It started over in Syria, at least the eastern portion of it. And when Seleucus came to office, he created what was called the Seleucid kingdom, the king of the north of Daniel 11. And this is the territory that Gog is going to have to take before, listen to what I'm saying, before they conquer Constantinople. You cannot be the king of the north unless you are what the king of the north used to be. What were they? Foreign occupiers of the territory from Syria to Pakistan. Now, if you've been following the news, you know that Russia is tinkering in that area. It includes Iran, all right? It includes Iran. They're tinkering with Pakistan. They've threatened Afghanistan, all right? They're tinkering with Iraq. They're certainly in Syria, all right? So this is going to happen eventually, brothers and sisters. Gog will sweep through that area, probably after the Great Depression begins. Then, at some point later, they can make their attack on Constantinople. They then become the eastern leg of the Image Empire. Then they can make their attack from there down the coastal strip of Israel and into Egypt, as Daniel 11 goes on to say. That's about all I'm going to say on that. But you get a bit of an idea?
Thanks for staying with us for this report. We pray that the video report has provided some clarity to the situation in the Middle East. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and select all so you never miss a new upload. Don't forget to like, share and drop a comment in the comment section. We love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you follow our playlist and never miss a new report. Until next time, God willing, this has been The Watchman Report, bringing perspective to current world news from a biblical standpoint. Don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Drop a comment in the comment section and let us know what you thought. And make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Please share it and spread the word. Thanks for watching. And remember to come back soon.